ready for live stream curling. Only at curlingzone.com.
Well, welcome back to the Mississauga Golf and Country Club and to the 2016 Ontario Junior Curling Championship. I'm Hugh Murphy with Curling Zone, and we are beginning yet another draw. This is an interesting-looking draw. We've got Kirsten Marshall against Molly Greenwood playing on sheet D at the Mississauga Golf and Country Club, and I've got with me a couple of our color commentators for this evening. We've got John Bass and Ross Scarra, two guys that know each other and have known each other for a heck of a long time. I'm going to toss it over to these guys, and we'll actually begin. The game's actually started. I think we're in the first end, guys. Is that right?
We are indeed. We are in the first end.
We are indeed in the first end. So we'll get ourselves going, and I'll leave it up to you guys to let us know what's going on out on the ice.
Thanks, Hugh. It's great to be here, and it's great to be back in the Mississauga Golf and Country Club, and looking forward to a great game between these two teams.
It is my pleasure to be here with a former winner of this event, Mr. Bass, to my left. Winner of this event, winner of the Canadians, winner of the Worlds back in 1983.
Yep.
A couple of years ago.
Yep, it was a long time ago. We got to enjoy the opening ceremonies when former Mayor Hazel McCallion was here, recalling meeting us at the airport in 1983 and coming back here for a little celebration. I've been back here a couple of times since then, but it is always great to be here in Mississauga. What have we got going on here, Ross? We've got, we know that Team Greenwood has got last rock. There's not much in play. And looks like the girls are going to just sort of hit it out through this first end.
Well, interestingly, it does look open right now, but there were actually two flashes by Team Greenwood so far in this end on a rock that was sitting on the left-hand side of the center line. So lots of curl, I think.
I think that's something that's probably going to be a bit of a challenge for a lot of junior teams, in my experience. Don't run into ice like this. Scott Muir and his, I'm not sure if Scott has a staff. Scott Muir has done a fantastic job of preparing this ice. It's really a lot like arena ice. It's a lot like Grand Slam ice, Brier ice. And it's very different than a lot of club ice. So the girls may have a bit of an adjustment period here, because there's another rock that's over curled again.
Yep.
It takes a little bit of adjustment to get used to ice that curls this much if you're not used to it, because any kind of inward movement, which works well on straight ice, doesn't necessarily work so well on ice that curls this much. So we'll have to see how each team adapts to this.
I know that Scott was here over the Christmas time. Lots of melting, lots of scraping, lots of flooding, all kinds of maintenance going on. So I know he's worked really hard on the ice, and it's nice to see that it's fast, it curls, and it should be a good surface for the players this week.
It's nice to get going in a fairly simple end like this, for everybody to get their legs. It's a nervous time when you're competing in the provincials, and I notice looking at the biographies that a lot of these girls have been to provincials before, and there's pretty considerable experience. But nonetheless, no matter how many times you've been to a provincial, it's nerve-wracking, and especially the first few games and the first few ends. So it's something they really have to kind of work through in the first couple ends. Roscoe, you know about that. You played in at least a half a dozen provincials?
Yes.
More, or 10, or 20? I don't know. It seemed like, being that we're both father time, it seems like they just kind of forget how many there was. But
that was a long time ago. By the way, John, I just wanted to mention a very important thing that Emily Lloyd, if she was to receive a hoodie, she would like it in a woman's medium.
Fabulous news. We have all kinds of interesting information here. We've got food allergies. If anybody of the viewers would like to know, you can send us an email and we'll let you know who's allergic to what. That's important information. And we've got favorite songs. We've got all kinds of good stuff here. So if the action doesn't pick up, we got lots of stuff to talk about.
So, John, tell us, what is your favorite song then?
Well, I'm actually, being as old as I am, I don't recognize 95% of them, but I do see Spice Girls on here. That's sort of from my genre.
Spice Girls, your genre?
Well, okay, that was sort of my middle age, but I'll keep looking for something I've heard of here. Ross, I've got an issue. I'm not going to lie to you. I never have experienced this before, but as a recommendation to the committee, we need a larger font on the team names at the other end. Because I really can't read that from here. I'm pretty sure Greenwood is throwing yellow.
Yes.
And Marshall is throwing red.
Well, fortunately, my long distance vision is okay, so I can tell you that Greenwood is yellow, Marshall is red, and I'll read the scores out for you as the game goes on.
Well, those numbers are bigger, so I'm good with that. Now that we've established who's on the top of the board, I think we can proceed nicely from here.
I've already had that happen to me once. It's coming back out. Black marker. Black pin still.
They have they have some seating out here on the sheets this week, so people can get up real close to the action. I would imagine that those seats will get more precious and occupied as the week goes on.
I'm actually curious to watch, Ross, all the changes that have happened in sweeping. I'm noticing already that the girls have got a hairbrush and a fabric brush, and they seem to have adopted it. It seems so recent, this new curling theory of sweeping.
Yeah, just this year, and you see that hit right there, the single sweeper being picked up by some other teams. Yeah.
I'm thinking I think it's really interesting. I mean, this is one of the most interesting developments in curling. I had a theory for the longest time that, and don't take offense, Ross, because we played together for a very long time, and you were always a magnificent sweeper. I just was never sure it actually did anything. But now it's very clear that there's not only can you make the rock straighter, but apparently you can make the rock curl more. And this is a huge change in the game, and I think actually kind of an exciting change, because anything that makes the ability to make more shots, I think actually leads to a better curling game. So it's fascinating to see. This is January. It's like half a season since all this has happened, and these teams have already adapted to the new sweeping techniques and technology, which I think is really neat.
And for those of you who weren't following it earlier in an earlier draw, there was a game that was decided because of the new sweeping rules. One team was found to be sweeping illegally and forfeited the game. So it's a real thing, and it's becoming a huge part of how people are playing the game today.
Final rock to come in the first end. Team Greenwood is clearly going to try and blank the end. Sorry. Oh, sorry. My bad. Won't be my last. My bad. Team Marshall's going to try and blank this end.
Producers for. Keep you honest, John.
Thanks, you. Just you could just tap me or shout it out whenever I screw up. That's kind of my peel weight, Roscoe. That's not exactly flying down the rink.
That's pretty quiet. Nice little roll.
I've clearly messed something up here. And yep, somebody tapped me. That was not a peel attempt. Because there's no way it would have been going that slowly. And lo and behold, there's a yellow rock left.
Yeah. You turn it down a little bit. Turn it down.
Wow. Great curlers, lousy commentator. This will be a peel attempt. I'm pretty sure this rock will be going a whole lot faster.
She made the good roll into the middle to make the peel as difficult as possible.
Look at the ice they're taking for the peel. That's about a foot of ice. That's she's really expecting some curl here.
Well, that's not exactly
No, that's not going a whole lot
firm either.
faster.
Jesus is going to cross it. No, she got the other way. She got it on the...
Makes it across the face. Whatever works. That's good. Blank end. And we're going to get ready for the second end. That's kind of how I like to throw peels, Ross. I throw about board plus and hit whatever side I'm in,
Put it on
whatever
the wrong
side I
side,
get.
roll out.
Yeah.
Next end. It's all good. Team Murphy gives up 2 to Team Auld on sheet C in the first end.
Wow, Ross, that's awesome. I had to take a minute to figure out what sheet you were looking at. Pretty sure that wasn't the game we were broadcasting. You're bringing a lot to this.
I'm trying to bring
Ross,
a
thank you very much.
comprehensive broadcast here, John.
You are a broadcast professional. All right, we're going to get some free guard zone action now. Team Marshall's throwing up a center guard, which, of course, can't be removed. So, excuse me, Team Greenwood will, I'm sure, come around that, and we'll get some rocks in play. That's a lot of curl. She's taking ice in the middle of the 12-foot to go around a center line rock.
We have the cameras up there. You can do, this is the home end. We can do the away end as well.
Okay.
So the away end is green 23. The home end is green 11.
And this is going to over curl.
Yes, it did. But according to the new sweeping theories, I'm pretty sure that is the side that would actually promote more curling, is it not, Ross? Usually the straightening
Yes, you're right.
would be on the inside.
Yes.
So I don't know if that would have factored into crashing that guard, but that goes against the new wisdom.
It does. Over 26-second ice. Scott Muir, the ice maker, was over before the game, showing us what the speed was during the pregame practice. 26.5 seconds.
That's
Pretty
measured
quick.
from hog to stop, that's crazy fast. That's really quick. To
There's
have
no shot.
ice with that much curl and that speed, that's really fun. Like that's really fun to curl on.
You're off?
Any shot's possible
was-
on
will we
ice
see
like that,
again
and really be fun to watch the rest of this game and see how they're able to take advantage of that curl and the speed.
Good shot from Team Marshall. Barry's one on the T line.
We'll see you on Friday then.
Trying to play the hit and roll from the outside rock. Hard to roll right to the freeze, which he's calling, unless it's a very soft weight.
Still here. Take your ready back. Yeah.
Just corrected by Scott Muir, the ice maker. 26.3 seconds was the speed, not 26.5. I didn't want to oversell his ice too much.
Oh.
Must have got that a little outside. Or it didn't curl like they expected it to. Ice like this with this much speed is extremely release sensitive. Any kind of inward or outward movement with this speed of ice and this much curl makes a huge and dramatic difference in the path of the rock.
Team Marshall have a big chance here to put some real pressure on. Come around top 8 here, behind, but top 8 behind that guard, they'll be in good shape.
This is a completely opportunity to completely dominate this end. This is going to be an awful lot of defense for Team Greenwood if this comes to rest where they want it to, and it looks fantastic. They might want to finish it. They might want to finish it a bit. There it is.
Excellent.
Perfect shot.
Beautiful.
Great shot. That was the hair broom from the outside position, trying to finish that for more curl.
And good rotation on that rock. You know, with ice that curls like this, putting a little extra rotation on the rock is helpful, and you can see that rock having still good turn as it came into the house.
She has really changed the ice. The last time they tried this hit, it was with about 6 inches of ice. Now she's got the rock. She's got the broom almost in the center of the rock. Still hit it on the outside. Takes a little time to adjust, but I'm sure they'll get there. Marshall's now going to have an opportunity to really bury a third one and really close off the forefoot. This looks really good as well. This looks really, really good. They could finish this now if they want to. It's going to tuck a little behind the
A
yellow.
little overlap would be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Perfect shot. Greenwood's is forced to defend now. He's going to have to try and run the yellow one back into the pile of reds and loosen this up.
All right, brother. Start side week.
That's got some heat.
Looked a little tight. It's going to hit the...
Yeah, she's
Wrong
going to make
side
the
of the
peel by
rock.
the looks of things. I hope.
Yes.
Oh, nope.
Team Horton takes 2 on Team Little on sheet B in the first end.
Gosh, you're killing me with this this panorama thing you got going
Hey guys,
on here.
I'd like your input on the call here. We've called a long center guard.
Well, they're in such fantastic shape right now in the rings. There is the possibility if they throw this guard, it's actually going to create a spot where Greenwood can actually loop it around this guard and take the end away.
What's a reasonable alternative?
Well, putting it in your pocket's an option because you're sitting so well right now. But just certainly something tighter in the rings. But a long guard right now really is playing into the hands of Greenwood at some point.
Do you think throwing it back left-hand corner might be a reasonable call?
Sure. Now,
That ended up pretty good.
that's pretty good because it didn't hang out over the center line where Greenwood can come around it. She still looks like she's still going to play some defense here and try and run that yellow one back.
But she's still probably 3 shots away from being able to get at the forefoot.
She is in a world of trouble. There's no doubt about that. As my buddy Mike Harris would say, it is really good to be red right now. That's got to come up a bit. A lot of curl on this ice, but that's got some weight.
Yeah, it helps.
Helps. Still advantage Marshall for sure.
She's calling another long guard. You could throw one. You could throw one to the back 8. On the open side, perhaps.
know that helps all that much. I mean, it is still the conventional strategy to gum up the middle.
With the amount of swing in this ice, do you think there's an out-turn come around to the top of the four?
Absolutely. No, absolutely there is. Well, and that is going to ultimately be Greenwood's last rock by the looks of things, trying to save the end. She's going to continue to just try and open this up, make her last shot easier.
Early sweep. You can see they're using this single sweeper approach. Yeah,
That helps.
Gets
The
one off
ante
the
is
forefoot.
it's not catastrophe now.
Chipping away
At
at
one
it.
point, a steal of multiple was looking like an option, and still is, but still advantage red. Still good to be red, but it's better shape now for Greenwood. I didn't see the call, Ross. Is she coming around to the top four?
Well, she indicated she tapped right in front of her red one, indicating I thought maybe to tap the other red one up, but this is an awful lot of ice for the tap, but it is curling, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, the wisdom of a tap on ice that curls this much is kind of lost on me, because when you've got this much curl, coming around something is relatively easy. Trying to get the line on a tap is much, much, much more difficult.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to execute the come around.
It's tight. They really got to go. Good result, though. Good result for Marshall's team. It looks like initially that Greenwood's going to call the spear double by the looks of things. Which, halfway through this end, I got to think she's thrilled to be facing this situation as opposed to what it was looking like. Thinking about the hit and roll in. Also, well, maybe a better call. Tighten it up so that Team Marshall, more difficult for them to get another one in there. I'd say with that ice, it looks like she's trying to play the spear double. Interesting. We've seen two rocks in this spot. One, well, both ran really straight, but one missed high and one a lot less ice and still hit on the high side. So this, to me, looks like an awful lot of ice. Now, I don't know the girls' deliveries.
Unless she's just drawing the double.
Well, I think it is the double, but it still looks like a lot of ice.
Not touching it yet. Well, it wasn't a double.
Wow. I'm going to... I know nothing. That was... it was inside roll. I thought with that ice call it was a spear double, but great shot. I think that's a great shot because the spear double still offered the opportunity to come around the red and still be in a good position to steal. Now the draw around is difficult, much more difficult with a rock in the top 12. Angles aren't great for yellow.
Not touching this.
No, they're in full chase mode. That is quick ice. That's is it going to hang around from back 8 for second shot? No.
Nope.
Well, I got to think right now that Yellow is thrilled at the moment. Their worst case scenario now is a steal of 1. They're trying to figure out if there's actually a tap here or a raise for 2. We're not on the greatest angle, but I don't doubt it. And they're drawing for 1.
It's like a straight draw, yeah.
Straight draw for 1. But given how this end was shaping up, I got to think Greenwood is thrilled to be throwing a draw against 1 because it could have been a much worse situation. Still a pressure shot. You never want to give up a steal early in a game. It kind of sets a bad tone. But it's not make or break time.
This is why they pay the skipper.
Sweeper's body language is great. We're off it. Line looks great. Oh, they really got to go line. Is it by? Oh, little rub.
Yeah, we've been heavy.
Good try.
Yep, steal 1.
I like that, Roscoe. You said it's in the skipper's hand. As your former skipper, I used to think it was in your hands. I just kind of lob it out there, and you had to park it there.
Well, that was true back in those days.
Oh, it's different now. I see. All right. Excellent. So I guess we're not going to commercial break. I don't know, Hugh. We got some commercials.
We don't get a commercial break.
All right, so we'll just talk about some stuff here.
Talk about your youth.
I want to come back to
Talk
the
about
ice.
your youth.
To the ice, John. Scott Muir. I made reference to him doing a lot of work and doing a nice job on the ice. But I really wanted to call out also his level 1 ice maker that was assisting him all the time he was doing all that heavy work, because that really, those level 1s are really the guys who get the job done.
Okay, that was shameless, Ross. For our viewers of 7 out there, I want you all to understand that the aforementioned level 1 ice technician would be high school best friend of my broadcasting partner, Roscoe. So that was really sort of pathetic, actually, Ross. But thank you for sharing that, and I'm sure George owes you a beer. And George, you can buy me a beer too. Feel free.
This is my best stuff, man.
Are we allowed to talk about beer on a broadcast? Is that allowed?
What's that? Yeah.
Okay, good.
This is not CRTC covered, boys.
Okay.
All right.
So you're
That's
okay.
good.
Glad we covered that.
I do not have a 7-second delay.
Okay.
I'll go with damn.
So beat your
Dang.
coaches.
Dang. Okay, Roscoe, I'm gonna comment on something semi-seriously. When I played in the 1981 Ontario Junior, the guy we played in the final from Ottawa, he had a guy on his team who came out of the hack on the tip of his toe. He didn't slide with a brush or a broom in those days. He slid with a block of wood with Teflon on it on a stick that he managed to slide under his arm, and he rested his elbow of his throwing arm on the block of wood with his back leg in the air, resting on his toe, his elbow, and the rock, and attempted to make curling shots and was incredibly good at it. But my point being, the mechanics of these girls is unbelievable.
Yes.
Every one of these. No, Bob actually didn't have the block of wood. He just kind of tipped over like a teapot, actually, at the.
I do remember a few guys with blocks of wood back in the day, though.
There was a guy in Saskatchewan that we played that I really can't remember his name. Was a fantastic curler. Had incredible cash bill results in we're talking in the 70s or 80s or something. But we used to call him Lunch Pail because he came out with, he had this, it was like the world's first crutch, but it was like a lunch pail. And he came out and he kind of leaned on it and it rattled, and I think he took his ham sandwich out of it halfway through the game and made a whole pile of shots that way. So, but the coaching and the work these teams do now is pretty incredible, actually. because every one of these deliveries is pretty much technically rock solid.
Well, John, we've had some interesting conversations about coaching and the way the game has changed, and when I learned to curl, there was no coaching. there were no camps. You came out and you kind of threw rocks and you figured it out and you went and played and hopefully you were good. And if you were good, you played some more. And now everybody's well trained. Everybody's been to camps. Everybody has, it's a lot more of I'll say a business almost now.
So, Ross, how do you think that's affected the game?
Well,
there's a bomb for you.
Can I answer that?
I want to hear both your responses.
Well, it's certainly an incredibly different game than it was when we came through juniors, and even forget juniors, even 10 years ago in the men's competitive game. It's a very different game now. We were the last of the Mohicans, kind of, that we were overweight and out of shape, and our deliveries were last wobbles for touch, and we managed to compete that way. But you can't do it now. I mean, it's the game, the level of play has been improved. There's absolutely no question about that. We used to take great pride in our last few years of curling competitively that we could still trick some of these youngsters, and we could. We still had some pretty good results, but it was trickery. It was mirrors and trapdoors and smoke, and we just didn't throw it as well as these kids do.
So I don't think there's any question that Warren Hansen's vision has been realized. The game is now not a pastime anymore. It's a sport, and that's good. That's good for the game. But it's also, there's a social aspect that used to be there that is maybe missing now a little bit.
Back to the game. What's going on, Ross? We got no rocks in play. Maybe we should keep chatting.
What do you think, Hugh? How do you think the game's changed? You've got kids in the game now.
Well, the game's, as far as I'm concerned, the game's changed completely. I mean, when we were kids playing, there was more than 100 teams entered in this set of playdowns in Ontario, and at this stage, we're looking at about 40 teams on an annual basis that enter the Ontario playdowns. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that it's good, but it certainly has changed.
Well, and the men's game, I mean, it really has, the dynamic of the whole thing has changed so dramatically, it's crazy. In this club, in Zone 8 of the Ontario Playdowns, this zone playdown used to be a 32-team cash spiel.
Didn't you used to have to play down in club to get into that?
Absolutely. We played, I think Ross, you and I played together when we had a triple knockout playdown to get out of the Oakville Curling Club to get to the zone. So it is really, the Olympics has really been a mixed blessing. The game has changed so much. The players are 100% better, but the grassroots participation, at least, well, I shouldn't say, I don't know if you call it grassroots, but the participation at the competitive level is way down, way down, and that's disappointing from that perspective, that there aren't more people out there trying, but that's the nature of the new game. These are we now are much like the Europeans. We are hand-picking, it seems, athletes and developing them as teams and as athletes. But the widespread participation has evaporated from my vantage point, anyway. Ross, Hugh?
Well, I think some interesting initiative with the Travelers, the club level championship, has evolved in the last few years. Last number of years, I guess, that's revitalized, or that's given a different opportunity for club players rather than the competitive. Because you're right, people recognize that there's very little likelihood that they're going to beat the Glenn Howards and the Greg Balstons and the Mike Harrises that are out there competing at the provincial level these days. So, having a Travelers, having an actual club level championship, I think it's been an interesting initiative.
Here is the subscription in that thriving? Like, is the entries in that positive and growing?
You know what? Honestly, I'm not in a position to say. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's just interesting to see where the Brier and the playdowns, because if you asked any player 15 years ago, what is your interest, it would have been to win a Purple Heart, get to the Brier. I'm not sure that's the same any longer, is it?
I don't know. I know when I won a Purple Heart, I cried. It was the holy grail of curling, and there
you go. You called it the holy grail of curling,
yep.
Right?
And it's the Olympics now. There's no doubt about that. But one of the beauties of the Brier in that time was every club entered teams, and it was a sort of club championship. Now that was bogus. It wasn't really, because there were elite teams in the playdowns that were there at the end of the provincials every year. But there was a certain magic to the Brier, and there still is. But as the absolute pinnacle of curling, it probably isn't anymore. It's now the Olympics, and the Olympics isn't for everybody. It really isn't.
Well, and what you see now is that the number of teams who really legitimately have a chance or a sniff of taking that Olympic bid or winning the Brier or whatever these days is, it's 4 or 5 teams maybe in the country who really you can legitimately say have a chance. And I don't know if that's less than it was before, but certainly it feels as though the upper level of the sport is getting smaller and smaller. The number of teams are smaller and smaller, and there's a cream of the crop who are very difficult to beat.
I think the perception is different. In our era or us, I think the top teams were still the top teams, and you weren't going to beat Ed Wernick, Russ Howard, Kerry Burtnick, Al Hackner. There was still an elite group of teams that were going to ultimately win. But there was a perception that regular club teams with some practice had a chance. And that perception is gone, and rightly so. They don't have a chance, and that's difficult. It's really, really difficult for the game to transition. But you're right, Hugh. I think maybe things like the Travelers is where the participation and hopefully the growth and the appeal to the average curler is going to be there and keep the game strong. For the rest of us, we just are going to enjoy watching these junior curlers develop and become the elite athletes that they can be, and that will be at the next Olympics and
Talking
Olympics
about
and
the
Olympics.
junior development, it's interesting to watch the strategic development or the development of the strategy among these kids. They make good calls. They clearly watch what's going on TV and make more and more sophisticated calls.
Well, there's been TSN and CBC have been running curling strategy clinics that's been the basis of the commentary for 30 years?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so if you're paying attention, wow, what a resource. Just watch those games, and Ray Turnbull and Linda Moore and et al. would explain to anyone listening how to play the game. And you're right, it's rubbed off. In my first Canadian junior, we were playing a team from Manitoba, Mert Tomset, who was coached by the third Mark Olson from Kerry Burtnick's team. And when we were up and they were throwing corner guards, I had to go to Mark Olson after the game and get him to explain to me what the hell he was doing, because we had no idea. Now, the neat thing about that was, though, we learned on our own by talking to elite curlers, and we championed it ourselves, and we took it under our, on our own prerogative, our own we made it our own, and we learned how to do it, and to some degree developed the strategies. But now with the TV, the coaching, that's just these kids know so much, it's frightening.
You're absolutely right, John. There's a clinic being put on almost every weekend on the TV. You can watch good curling and see good shots and good strategy being called. I worry about you probably know this better than us because you have kids in the game. Like I worry about the juniors, and I hear this story all the time. Okay, so there's 4 junior teams and they all have one real good player, and then all the good players from those 4 teams get together and they make one real good team, and then the other players sort of leave the game and they kind of go off and don't play anymore, and that's hurting the juniors. Is that a real thing?
Well, I think there's a host of things. There's a whole bunch of different things that have really affected the game. That's certainly one. And you're right. There was a time when you played with your buddies from your high school, and those were the kids that you played with. Now, looking at my own daughter's curling team. She's from here in Mississauga. We've got a kid from Port Perry, a kid from St. Catharines, another one from Listowel. And you're right, they draw together. So the whole discussion of parachuting and how that's been allowed to happen, and now it's, I suppose, arguably happening at a national level, where just this past year we've allowed individuals to parachute into from province to province, haven't we?
Yep. Yep.
So I guess it's just a matter of the evolution of the game and what we find tolerable in some respect.
So it's great for creating some good teams. You get good high caliber teams out of it, but you also lose that middle layer who may just leave the game altogether. Yeah.
And not that this isn't completely fascinating, but we just missed an entire end of curling, and to our 7 people out there listening, we apologize profusely. But Team Greenwood just had a draw for 2. Unfortunately, came up a little light, overcurled, and tapped the guard. So at the end of 3 ends, we have a 1-1 tie with Hammer switching back to Team Marshall. Sorry to interrupt with some curling.
Sorry to have to interrupt her.
My bad.
Discussion with some curling. Yeah, actually, you know what? If you want to read the scores across to me, I'll do some updating on the other scoreboards. Bear with me a second while I get my handy-dandy scoreboard up. On sheet A, what have we got over there? Bandwood and Roseland, if I'm not mistaken.
Bandwood is leading 1-0.
After how many ends?
After they're playing 4 after 3 ends.
Okay.
2 blanks in that game.
On B?
On B, it is 2-0 for Horton.
After 3?
Again after 3, yeah.
Okay.
And then on sheet C, it's 3-2 for Ald. And then on our sheet, of course, 1-1.
Very, very defensive opening to the 4th end. Team Greenwood's throwing it in the rings, prompting Marshall to immediately hit it. So we may be into a simpler end. Great shot. Right on the nut.
The other thing that's different, John, is nobody buys their sweaters at Kmart anymore. They all get these fancy sweaters that are like printed and stuff with numbers.
That's some high-tech stuff going on there.
Never ever would I've ever thought I would have needed a number on my curling sweater,
I'm confused by the entire thing myself, but where's the badges? Where's your division badges? Do we still get badges, Hugh?
You know what? That's an interesting question. Just this past year, the Ontario Curling Association, in its efforts to streamline the game, has decided that it won't be giving out badges going forward. Do you know how much the Ontario Curling Association spends on badges on an annual basis?
So I really wanted to interrupt in there for a second, because you said streamlined, and what I heard was economize.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Economize is what it comes down to. Do you know how much the OCA spends on badges on an annual basis?
I'd be fascinated to know.
Yeah, take a guess, Ross. Take a guess. A wild guess.
$10,000.
Well, there's a guess. John, how about you? Take a guess.
I'm just going to go with badges. We don't need their stinking badges.
Exactly. Take a guess. I'm making you guess.
I have
$33,000.
33,000.
Yeah, on an annual
badges.
basis.
Oh, we really need no stinking badges.
Yeah, well, so
That's retarded.
there you go. When we
people
had
value those things.
when
Now,
we had 300 teams,
Value them, Ross. I have a drawer full of them that if you want to come by, I
You
could,
do.
sell them 10 cents on the dollar. For.
you do, but there are people out there
Yeah,
to whom
absolutely.
that
It's a part of the
region
culture, guys.
badge
It's
or
been a
that
part of the
regional
culture.
badge would mean a lot.
I don't know. I had $33,000 worth of badges. I'm going with we need no stinking badges. But some lovely. What is that process where we screen all that stuff on those jerseys now? That's
sublimation.
sublimation.
That's
Thank
what they
you.
call it.
Thank you.
Really? Wow.
The sharp looking.
Good one. Wide open end here in 4.
Streamline. Economize.
Uh-oh. The OCA is listening in. This isn't pretty anymore, people.
Oh,
This-
guys, come on.
Ross, this may be our last job.
We are the
on the
OCA.
OCA.
Maybe our last job in curling broadcasting.
Oh, okay.
That may have nothing to do with the fact that we were criticizing the OCA's budget.
Who's criticizing? We're just commenting.
No, I'm just for the record. I'm for badges. I think we need more badges. We need people to get 2 badges when they win something.
Oh, Ross.
How do you feel on pins? Are you a pin guy too?
No, pins are bad.
Pins are bad, badges are good. Wow. I'm learning stuff here. This is cool.
Well, we've got a pretty defensive end going again here, haven't we, guys?
We do. This looks like a flash. Yes.
There we go. The force is on.
Oh, I am very available.
Actually, who am I fooling? This is a deuce.
I work
This is
for
a
about a
deuce.
beer every two ends of beer. I'm in. Send me in, coach.
5 Guinness a game.
5 Guinness a game. Wow. How many games can you do in a day?
Remember the whole budget thing?
I'm
budget.
so in. Oh, budget. Yeah, that's not going to be. Our kid's not going to get their badges because I'm drinking Guinness.
Yeah.
Is that gonna?
Every Guinness is a badge. Some little poor kid didn't get a badge because John had a
Yeah,
Guinness.
I feel bad now. My bad.
So
Again.
the junior deuce is on here, boys.
Oh dear. I apologize to all 7 people listening to this. Each and every one of you. Randy, I know you're listening at home. Thanks for listening. There's enough angle here to really sharp double. Like really have to hit about a quarter of a rock. I think the play here would seem to be just going to try and hit and roll over and make the continuation of sitting 2 more difficult.
They've tried to hit in this spot quite a few times this game with mixed results.
Well, we've seen the broom in a different spot, I think, every time. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that's indicating. We can't possibly blame our friend Scott for that, so we're going to have to come up with another theory.
Operator error?
Operator error.
Could be operator error.
That was a good-looking shot.
Well done. Looking for a little bit more roll over towards the red rock to make the next takeout more difficult. But mission accomplished. You know, Ross, these are the ones that sometimes made me the most nervous. The wide open hit to lie to. Relatively simple shot in curling, but absolutely mandatory to be executed perfectly.
Well, John, if I remember correctly, any hit for you was life and death. So
Well, you got a point there, actually. You've got a point there.
don't leave you the draw, but the hits were question mark.
I can't argue with you. I'm trying to think of a good response, but I think it's actually a miracle that we won as many games as we did with my delivery. Did I mention it was homemade and I had no coach?
You did, yeah.
won't tell Rick you said that.
Oh, he had nothing to do with that. That was completely homemade. It looked like sort of the Curl Canada delivery. My foot was flat, but I don't think they teach all that lateral movement in the Trillium camp these days.
Actually, I saw a picture of you throwing a rock somewhere the other day. It was something related to this event. There was a picture of you, and you were way lower, like back
who
then.
knew? Who knew that 30 years of eating chicken wings and drinking beer would affect my flexibility?
I think you had less body parts to get out of the way when you slid.
I need to take these. You guys, we need more ratings. I'm going
Yeah.
to find more
Well, yeah.
It's quite the show. I'm working and listening.
You're listening to this?
Yeah.
So hi, Janet. Yeah, because you and Randy, we think, are the only two people listening right now.
More, I'm sure.
I think we've got actually, if any of my hockey friends have figured out how to find this, they might be listening and chortling too. But
Really, John? You're going for the hockey friends?
that's all I got.
If my aunt in Perth is listening right now, that would be, hi, Aunt Edna.
Hugh, we're not sure about your reach. We're worried about your reach. Is
Anywhere where you two blows.
From here, but I tell you what, if I had a tennis racket, I might give you a good whack. Quit it, boys. Reach.
Do you mean his reach like how far this broadcast goes? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm getting at.
It's like you've heard of the internet, right? You know what that's all about? You've heard of this thing called the internet? The interweb?
Yeah, that whole
It's that thing
world,
that didn't Bush invent it or somebody?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
It's anywhere the internet goes.
And as God is my witness, I swear turkeys can fly.
Less.
So coming back to the game, Marshall sitting 3 now.
Yeah, Greenwood's in a troublesome little situation here.
Yeah, there is absolutely nowhere to hide.
I think she's calling the hit and roll behind the one on the top of the 12 foot.
On the left-hand side here?
Yeah. She might...
Even perfectly executed, it leaves about a 3 foot straight raise, but given the situation, that's the best you can hope for.
Maybe squeak out the double at the back at the same time. You always got to be the optimist, you know.
Actually, though, those angles would be about right. If you actually made that double, you'd be pretty close to rolling behind that other one. Which, of course, depending on the weight, but angles are pretty good for that. Heck of a shot if she could make it. Holy smokes.
This actually looks fairly
really close.
Oh, she made the double, but rolled too far. So you're...
Great shot. Actually, I think she was trying to make the double on the underside as opposed to over the top. And if you'd done that, it might have stuck around for shot rock. But nonetheless, double made, and damage is limited. They're on it pretty early. Looks pretty good to me. Gotta go. Gotta
It's
go.
really-
it's
it's
going
Cara.
sideways now. Holy smokes.
Yeah, just didn't have enough natural weight.
Well, but that almost it completely lost its handle at the end, Ross. I'm not so sure if that might have picked. Great break for Greenwood's team. End that was looking like a possible 3-ball is now down to a best case scenario of a blank for Marshall.
Oh. Beautiful shot on sheet C. So, a chance to get out of this end.
Yep, there's been a number of ends this way for Greenwood's team where things were looking pretty dire early, but managed to wriggle off the hook.
Hello. How are you? Fine, thanks. So good to see you. Glad to see you. How are you doing? Fine. That's why I came down here to see you and see you.
Looks pretty good. Just cleaning it.
Running the audio visual
Just watching it in.
That's fantastic.
Perfect blank attempt coming up. I'm sure it'll be an out-turn heater.
Doc. Just had a quick visit from Dr. Bob Allen, longtime curler up at Thornhill. Shouted to his family. He's probably stretched across the globe at this point.
Out-turn peel's looking pretty solid. Perfect shot.
Well done.
Well executed. This could be the shortest broadcasting career in history right here. But you know what? There's Russ. You know, it's important that there be some response, like whether it be negative or positive towards our broadcasting skills. What we're trying to do is elicit a reaction. How do you feel about that, Mr. OCA? You?
How would we elicit such reaction? Do you think the Twitter sphere might...
Right, I forgot that we had to get a reaction from our 7 people that are listening.
Yeah, all 7.
And Janet, we could use a beer here in the broadcast booth. We know you're
Yes.
one of our 7.
There's an emergency on sheet D. John was out of beer.
This one's going to slip into the house. I didn't see the initial call. Was she calling for the center guard there?
You're confusing us with broadcasters paying attention to you.
Oh.
No, I was watching. Yes, that was the call, Hugh. Yes, indeed. And I'm making that up completely. I had no idea what the call was.
You are grown men, you realize.
Hugh,
We're grown men, we're just not broadcasters. That's the issue.
We're just not broadcast. True, I'll give you that.
I'm going to break.
I can't deal with scores just now.
Okay.
What's going on? I don't blame you. Yes. Yeah, I'm here, Bob.
So, John, when you went to the Canadians, you represented Mississauga, correct?
Yes, we did. Yep.
And was there some sort of an event for you where did the club help you out a little bit back in those days, or was
Mississauga was awesome.
Yeah.
I was the talking about our discussion about imports. I was the import. I was from the dreaded Oakville, 10 minutes down the road. But no, this club rallied behind us and was absolutely fantastic. They supported us. They cheered us on, and couldn't have been any better.
And the Canadians that year were where?
The year we won, they were in
Swift Current.
Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Thank you, Hugh.
Oh, Hugh pulls one out.
And before you asked, the world's were in Medicine Hat, Alberta. Thank
I
you
knew
very
Medicine
much.
Hat was in there somewhere. I didn't know which one. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like, because it was a very long time ago.
Yes. No. How many of the people out here were born?
None.
None.
I'm going with none. What is 1980? Oh yeah, God, not even close.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah.
I'm not sure any of their parents were born, for heaven's sakes. It is kind of neat, actually. I look at this field and, well, neat or sad, one of the two, that I did compete against many of their parents, which I don't know why that uniquely qualifies me to be broadcasting this game. But
We
got a
timeout.
We have a timeout called. I think what happened is they hit the guard.
There's a discussion for you, boys. Clocks. The way you time, the way the timing has evolved. There was a time when a 10-inning game could, played against human rain delays, last 3.5 hours.
ergo, the clock.
I wonder how Rich Moffat is doing these days.
Oh, my God. Ottawa was notorious for slow curlers. Holy smokes.
Ottawa was notorious.
Oh, my God, they had some slow people. But we all could be at times. And the clock was a great addition to the game because everybody was way, way, way too slow. Still are. The amount of time we're given for a curling game now is way more than you need. I mean, there's 2 shots in this game, folks. Hit and a draw, pick one, and let's get on with it. Like, there's really not any need to spend as much time in a curling game as we do.
I really think they got it right now. You know, if you get the games down to 8 ends across the board, and you know you're timing the thinking time, that's pretty good. That's the way to go. I think, you know.
Thinking time is definitely an improvement over the original just running time for the team. There's no doubt about that, because there was an inconsistency or an inequity in the fact that the team up is throwing peels that take 4 seconds to run down the ice versus the draw that takes 28 seconds to run down the ice.
Yep.
And, you know, that was, you know, the team that's behind is already trying to spend more, you know, needs to spend more time. So the thinking time was a great invention. And you know what? That came from the Grand Slam of curling. There was the first place that brought in that system and tried it out, and it worked well.
That's what I love about the slams now is they're trying stuff out. They're taking chances. They're trying things out. You know, the 5 rock rule. They're trying all these things. Then they're proving them. You know, they're proving that can work, and then they can be adopted elsewhere. I think it's great.
Absolutely, and they're experimenting with these things at the absolute highest level of curling. I don't think you can argue that the Grand Slam of curling is the highest level of curling in the world. The 18 teams, or the fields change differently, but arguably they are the best fields in the world, including World Championships, Canadian Championships. Those teams are fantastic, and for them to be, trying to develop and move the game forward, trying different things, fantastic.
You know, I was thinking back the other day, John. The biggest event probably I played in was that. I think it was called the VO Cup at the time. It was the first World Curling Tour Championship.
Yep, it was the first tour championship.
Yep,
that's
and
right.
it was in Calgary.
Yep.
And I remember thinking at that time, look at all these teams. Like, these are all the best teams that you know. Some of them you played, some of them you have never played against, but these were all the best teams. That's going on every a couple of times a month now. Like the best teams are playing each other so much more now than they ever were before, and the top teams playing against each other on TV, using good rules, with a game that's 8 ends long, which is consumable by the people out there watching. It's all working now, and it's a fantastic thing to watch.
Yep, and kudos to the players that were integral in getting that going. We tried for a long time to get that going as part of an upstart group World Curling Tour and the World Curling Players Association. But it really took the boycott in whatever years those were to give the slams credibility. And that was quite something by those players to boycott what is and still is the greatest championship in curling, the Brier. And it was in the name of getting those events up and going. And I was part of that organization and the very beginning of that, and was against the boycott very vehemently when it happened, because I had difficulty with anything that was going to be negative with regards to the Brier and that kind of stuff. But the Grand Slams have become an incredible series of bonspils that has advanced curling and advanced the level of play and rules and everything else. So great addition to the world of curling for sure.
I think it's all going good now, because we still have, I do enjoy the TSN coverage and what they do with the Brier and the Canada Cup and the Scotties and but then we got the whole Slam thing too, and there's just there's a whole ton of curling out there now that you can watch on almost any given weekend, and it's all good right now. There's nothing, it's all clicking, and from what I can tell, they keep expanding the tour. They added more events this year, and so good things are happening.
Yep, it's all very good. The game's in great shape. I just wish these girls would put more rocks in play.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have to talk about this. Outturn draw coming into the house.
Coming
Soon
into
to
the
be
house.
struck by yellow.
So this game looks like they are not willing to take too many chances. Looks like it's going to come down to a big finish here, the last end. Probably going to end up being some kind of draw or something to win the whole thing. Which I guess is kind of how they all end, isn't it? Like somebody makes a shot.
It is pretty much
to
how
win
they all
the
end.
game.
Well, don't worry, guys. There's 5 more ends.
Very
to play.
insightful.
In the
5 more. I
second-
thought we covered that curling should have changed to 8. Can we change that right now today?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
No.
All right. We got Hutch back here. Hutch, a little straw poll. We want to change this game to 8. Are you good with that?
You okay with us playing only 8 ends?
People can't listen to us for another 6 ends. It's
I can't listen to us for those things.
You got a piece of this, Roscoe?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Big piece. Roll out. All right.
House is empty.
Well, they're going to really change it up. They're going to throw the intern draw. Changing the ice entirely for the other team. Hoping for some catastrophic miss.
So, John, there's a rumor, or there's some conjecture, that you, after having had a somewhat of a hiatus in the game, may make a return, may play soon in the game of curling.
I have signed up for the best pound-for-pound bonspiel in the world, the Oakville Sportsman. Although I have caveated that by saying I really just want to be on the meal plan, and I may or may not actually participate in the game of curling.
This is a 5-man team of which only the other 4 players are going to play?
God willing.
Okay, I get it.
All right. Draw executed on the intern. Now comes the outturn hit.
So is that your official return to competitive curling, the Sportsman, John?
I am very clearly in the competitive eating program of the meal plan of the Oakville Sportsman. And if any of the other 4 members of my 5-man squad come up lame, I will be participating. And based upon the opening toss ceremony today, I am in no danger of making a shot. All right, here comes the outturn heater. Little extension.
That looked a little tight to me.
Such a solid delivery, though. Holy smokes.
This is the across the face peel.
Made again.
This is the new way to do it.
Dare I say that's what she's trying to do, Roscoe? You think?
I don't think you'd try and do that, do you?
Yeah, I got nothing. Okay, I was ahead of myself. That was not the last rock in the end. This is.
And we're headed towards what I assume would be the fifth end break.
Fifth end break. This is when you guys get to do a dog and pony show, a little song
really?
and dance. Yeah,
I thought there was a washroom break.
Yeah.
there is, but only if you.
Now in the day, this is when you went for a smoke.
Yeah.
Is that wrong in junior curling?
They don't even say. You don't say that word.
All right. Just for the record, we don't do that anymore either here in the broadcast booth. Haven't done that in some time. But really, we got to fill like 5 minutes.
don't have
Okay. We can. What do you want to talk about?
So,
Ross?
John, did either of your kids ever curl? Did they, or like your kids are big hockey players, but did they ever curl at all?
No.
No.
Actually,
No.
you know what, guys? This is your break time. You get 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you want.
He's
I'm gonna
asking
play
us to
his mics up
leave,
for 5
basically.
minutes.
You're
The Beatles will listen
What
to
he's
the
really
song.
saying is, would you please go away? All right, I'm going to take that.
All right. Okay, we're back on. Hugh, bring us up.
We're back.
Are we back?
You're back.
Welcome back, everybody. 6th End starting. And I have absolutely stunning news, Roscoe.
What's that?
We have hit over 60 viewers. I don't know how to tell that. It's some kind of either web magic.
That's going to be a record.
Absolutely. And I think we only know probably 40 of them personally, which is fabulous. We got a front rock, Roscoe. We got a front rock. Here we go. Giddy up. Coming around.
By the way, we'd like to apologize for anything that was said during the first half of the game that was a little offside. Understand Melissa Foster is a little upset about a couple of things, so we'd just like to throw that out there.
But I promise not to use the word retarded ever again, at least in this broadcast. All right, we got Rocks and Pay. Sorry, Janet. All right. Here we go.
I don't know how to tell you this. We got 2 rocks in play here.
I know, but it's one more than I've had. That's good.
Oh yeah, these guys are really learning.
That's a beauty.
That's a great shot right there. That's perfect. And now game on. So front rock, come around. Here comes the freeze attempt. Oh no, maybe not. We're gonna tap it.
Maybe they got a stern talking to by the coaches at the 5th end break about, getting a bit aggressive here.
Well,
not?
I do notice that the coach from Team Greenwood was animated and had stuff to say. So I don't know what it was, but he was into it. Freeze looks pretty good. Well, maybe not. Gotta go. You know what? Not what they were looking for, but something they can use as the end progresses, because it's open, it's raisable. Pretty good rock for the rest of the end to come.
Just a quick report on the other sheets. Team Murphy has taken a 5-3 lead over Team Auld after 5. And Team Horton is 2-1 over Team Little after 5. And
They were looking for something at the top of the rings, a little heavy.
Team Rose on 3-2 over Brandwood on sheet A.
Ross, we lost Hugh. Do you think we offended him?
No. Probably just tapped the bathroom.
Oh, Ross is Hugh's gone potty. Well, good to know.
Well, I don't know who's running the equipment here, but sure he does.
I fear we may not be getting all the top angles on the. If somebody has a delivery disaster, we're going to miss it, Russ. And the viewers are going to miss it. We're going to see it, but the viewers are going to miss it.
We'll have to use our powers of description to tell the incredible viewership what they're
Fortunately,
seeing.
these girls throw it so well, you're not likely to hear, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're a little too smooth for that. Good plan B. They were looking to try and freeze to the one on the right of the 4-foot, but a fairly effective rock, actually.
Still a nice scenario for Marshall.
Yeah, once again, the beginning of the end is looking all Marshall. This looks like it's got some smoke, Roscoe.
Yes.
Oh, Kimmel. Just trying to get it by. Just trying to get it where the Greenwood team can't use it. That was a miss.
Little loss of concentration there, perhaps.
So once again, Team Greenwood's going to try and freeze to the, or well, not so much freeze, but just come around center line, top of the forefoot, choke off the scoring area for Marshall's team.
This too looks like it's got some smoke too. Yeah.
You know, I never subscribed to you Leeds theory that in the sixth end things got way quicker. I always thought you were just terrible, Ross, but that might be what's happening here.
Well, I think it very well may be quicker, but maybe not 10 feet quicker. It's but those last two shots were, yeah.
True, not 10 feet quicker. That's fair. You used to claim it was 10 feet quicker, but maybe a couple of feet.
Well, she has a chance to try it again. Same scenario for her. This looks a little closer.
Like this a little better.
Yep.
That's got to go. That's a solid shot.
Yep. Nice, looks good. Still holding up. No sign of any breaking down.
This is a. This is an interesting situation right here because the end is looking all red.
Good.
And Greenwood is going to have to try and figure a way out of this mess. So you could bash, but probably not wise at this point. She's trying to try and get more of her rocks up and control the front of the rings, which is a really solid play. If she can get something to again choke off the scoring area, and something that she can tap or raise later in the end is going to work for her if she can get that in play. This looks a little warm again.
I should go away more often.
Yeah, who you got rocks in play? Looks like this is going to come to the back one if it gets by.
Sweeping to get it past that center. Ooh.
Yeah, it's freeze to the back one.
Oh, great shot.
Yeah, back of the tee line, though.
Yeah, but given the situation here, that another yellow one in there that's buried and frozen is really good yellow news.
Yeah, and yellow's looking to steal here, so.
That rock really changes the end. All of a sudden, advantage Greenwood.
Hey, Jewel.
Well, look at this, Don. They're playing what I think is a full weight hip with a foot of ice. She's just trying to chisel it off there, I think.
Who did that? Did you do that? I didn't do that.
Trying to get it to curl now.
Hey, you're in charge.
Oh my.
The way they were reacting to it, I thought they had it made. That would have been a heck of a shot. If she could chip that off, that would have turned the end around again. But now it's all Greenwood. Advantage Greenwood. Good to be yellow.
Once again, that sweeping technique, though, the sweeper brushing the rock on the high side, trying to get it to curl on that hit.
You're right. That's what confused me. I saw them sweeping, thinking it was, but they were trying to get it to curl. You're right, Roscoe. You are pure genius.
Playing a guard here. Oh, and look at the curl at the end there.
Look at that. Yeah, it finishes. There's a port. Well, wish we had a bit of a better angle. There's a port between the two yellow guards. Whether I got to look at the TV. There we go. Can she chisel that off?
It looks like she can see.
With Scream and Peel, she probably could.
Screaming Peel. One Screaming Peel coming up.
Man, this looks close.
Yeah, this is.
No, it's on the guard. I think
it's
maybe.
on the top yellow. No,
Oh, it is not. It's on the top red. So
is yellow line two now?
two
Ross?
now, maybe.
Oh no, definitely not.
No.
No, still one yellow. This is freaking awesome, Ross. We get rocks in play.
We do.
We can do all kinds of bad calls and be the announcers. people hate.
Misreads and not really knowing what's going on.
Was it that just for you? Get in there, big guy.
If she can fill that hole, then I think Marshall's going to be in a world of hurt. It is going to be incredibly difficult for her to score.
Yeah. We saw the last guard really curl at the end hard,
That's going sideways now.
and this one is curling too. It
That is going
may
absolutely
actually
sideways.
bounce off that outside guard and be perfect.
Yep. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Defense time. Defense
Guys,
red.
is there enough movement in the ice to throw the intern pitch on your own red stone?
Well, Hugh, if we had a better angle on the sheet, we could probably let you know about that. But seeing as you stuck us in the corner with the chips and stuff, we got nothing to add on that. But we appreciate the chips, which is good.
We'll have to ask the fans who are sitting over behind the sheet.
Did anybody who's
What do you
listening to the
think?
broadcast behind the sheet tell
Can
us
they
if they
make-
can chisel that red
Can they
in?
tap that red one in, do you think?
No. We're getting a
No.
big nope.
We have
Nothing.
we have one no and one yes from the crowd.
Okay,
So
well, maybe. Ah, that actually worked really well. Because now,
That's giving her an
well,
opportunity.
that little curl back didn't help red, but it opened up the front a whole bunch.
Was that? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's
Okay, I take it back. That didn't help that much. They're still in a world of trouble.
she just motioned for sort of a rock top 8, full 12, right on the center line.
Wow. I think if she makes this guard, it's one yellow. Have a nice day, and let's go to the 7th. Maybe not. Might be a way to.
if she throws this guard, where does she want this guard?
Yeah, never, because I take that back. Because she.
I think there could be a deuce there if she throws the guard close enough to the center line.
a deuce.
Run the Yellowstone in the top 8 foot onto the one.
We're calling full 8 foot.
Oh yeah.
Would the
Going all the
CTRC complain if we said, "What the hell are you smoking, Hugh?"
This is hot. This is coming in. This is going to be at least T-line. It's going to bounce off that. Actually, it's going to end up pretty good.
Look, who's second shot, Ross?
I
think
think I would say still red.
Still red.
Yeah. Assuming the camera is straight over.
No one ever accused me of being the smartest skip in the world, but I'm thinking let's play
that's true.
7-1 down. Is there an in-off? There might
No.
be room, eh? There might be room to slide by the center line yellow.
Is it curl enough?
Well, hard to say.
I'm going with no. I think the only thing she's got is to hammer that one that's top 8. Oh, she is going to try and come off that, or maybe make the double that one.
Well, if she can, yeah. I guess if the guard in front of the rings on the left-hand side is over enough, she should be able to. It looks like if she hits a half a yellow rock, it'll be one red.
Yep.
Yep. I think. Well, hard to say. Let's see.
They're not really. They're just dusting. Oh, they're trying to get it to curl now.
Get the curl hard. Oh, okay.
Oh,
nice
they're
shot.
bailing out.
Well,
Yep.
clearly
Yep.
there was no slash double that we
Yep.
were trying to talk about, but one yellow and off to
things
the 7th
considered.
end we go.
All things considered, giving up a point there.
Yeah. Yep.
The best thing that's happened in the last month is that Hugh brought a thing of chips by.
These are particularly fresh and tasty. Thank
They are.
you.
Barbecue, I think.
They're all dressed.
All dressed? These are all dressed?
That's because
Yes, the chips, no.
That's because the highly tuned athletes at the Mississauga Golf Club are not accustomed to eating chips like the
The slovenly people from Oakville. You know what?
All right, we got
another
Firestone.
game.
We do too. The back half of this game has become interesting.
Yeah, this has changed entirely. And now, maybe I nodded off at some point here, but in a tie game, the Rocks were being called into the rings, or at least ending up in the rings. Now with a 1-point lead, they've decided to go short, which is great from a commentator's point of view. And I think actually a reasonably sound strategy.
Good looking shot here.
Great looking come around. Perfect shot.
There is. We will get it adjusted. Someone took it away from us.
The Red Rock slipping a little bit behind the tee line, so wow, but look at this yellow one almost going to nose the center line guard.
The weird thing there, Ross, is Team Greenwood is not buying into the new sweeping theory, because that rock that was over curling was being swept on the curl side.
Yep. If they can get this one down right to the top 4, top button, right on top of the other one, that's good.
It's going. It's really, really curling.
Looks like it's maybe a hair heavy, but
Oh, great shot!
no, good looking
Great
shot.
shot.
Yep.
Seems every end the Marshall front end is making some great come arounds. Is a hair deep, actually. I didn't realize until I looked at the monitor that it's
bit of a
actually
pocket.
both are behind the tee line.
Yeah.
So a good shot here from Greenwood changes this end entirely.
Ooh. There was sweeping there for reasons I'm not sure.
Did they maintain enough of the angle?
Nope.
Looks like Marshall could get to the inside of this. If they can get to the inside of this, it's advantage red. Good to be red if he can get to the inside. It's all about those angles, though. If this doesn't curl enough and stays on the outside, it's back to advantage yellow.
This looks pretty good.
Oh, great shot.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Things are building for Marshall.
Yeah. And Greenwood is looking to clean it up. I think that's a good call. Try and double the 2 yellows. If you hit it right, you can probably send a yellow back into the pile. Turn this end around again. Tough shot, though. Didn't curl quite enough. Out-turn guard from Well.
Oh, that looked tight out of her hand,
Yeah,
John.
they're on it pretty early. That would indicate that she's probably tight. So what they'll need to do is sweep it early and then get off it. Looks like it's going to overcurl, though, Roscoe.
Yep.
Pretty much does the
Semi
job.
does the job, yeah.
Yep.
There's really not much on that out-turn side now. Just a little freeze, perhaps, but that's about it. How's your Latin? Semper amici e sodalis. Amici? 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 Anybody know what it means?
Janet does.
Long way out there right now. That's got to break hard. It's trying. It's really trying. Oh, that's an interesting spot. How do you deal with that if you're red? It's not shot rock, but it's going nowhere anytime soon.
Right there. Yep. Right to the face of it.
Yeah. A little jiggle. Ideally, you'd want to come down to that, just touch it, and just jiggle it to change the angle, so that if you get a chance to throw one at the one you're about to throw in front, the angle should be favorable for red.
Ooh, this looks firm out of her hand, but
That is flying. Get down.
she could chip the yellow one over if she's
this
not
could
careful.
be ugly. This could be not good.
In fact, she will. For
Yeah,
Even
that
harder to get
yellow's-
rid of now.
That yellow's
Yeah.
locked on there now.
Yep.
Another freeze to the top yellow, and mission accomplished if you're yellow, because it'll be really tough to get a deuce. Which is the goal. The goal when you don't have last rock and you're one up is to force the other team to one. Get a hammer back for the eighth end. How's it look, Roscoe?
I think it looks
Swoopers are.
looks
Yeah, I
tight.
seem to like it.
It's pretty close. It's curling. It's not curling. It's diving.
On the top one.
It is. Well, no harm done really if you're yellow. Pretty.
Under the theory of just
calling
giving.
an intern around, but from where?
Through the yellow port.
Through the yellow port. Is that a port?
It's a backwards port that's one rock wide.
Wow. You got to grease both sides of that one to get through there.
Okay.
Chunk in the high red one wasn't part of the plan. Now what? Okay. I think
Come off that.
if you think, well, I don't know what the viewers can see here, but if red were able to throw one a heater to hit that, can she see enough of the top yellow in the 12-foot to run that straight back? Because if she could, she would lie 4 buried. So if that is possible, Greenwood is going to want to take that away. And is that what she's doing with that ice? That might be exact. Oh, wait a minute.
She's throwing something with
way too
speed.
hard. Okay, she's not.
She's trying to come off that outside one, I think, John, to bump in the other yellow one.
Jimmy the yellow.
Okay, I'm with you.
And she's close, real close.
Oh, great shot.
Angle just wasn't there.
No. Yeah, great try. Actually, the same situation still kind of exists. They're not looking at it, though, so maybe it's just not there. Okay, so she's chosen to play the wide in-turn draw, which ideally is just going to cement the force of 1. If she can get this rock top 4 foot, I presume, is what she's trying to do. Cuts off any chance of yellow being able to play an in-turn draw in there for their 1 point.
Doesn't even need house. It's a line shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, some rethinking going on here.
Alternative thinking.
She's seen it, John. By Jove.
The raise we were talking about earlier. If she can see enough of that yellow one, she can slam that back in there. Now it was for 4 originally, but now it would be, well, for 3 if you can double them out, triple them out. But
It's not going to happen.
the angle would change. The red would spin out to the left, I think.
Well, they've tightened the boom up, so they're trying, I think, to come into that hole, just to cover that hole.
Just trying to take that away?
Yeah.
Take that away. Yellow doesn't have a shot there.
That seems to be the call, though. Little rub off the outside one.
Well, mission accomplished, I think. If there was, well, if there was a shot there, it might not be there anymore.
They're trying the wide draw. But a completely different game in the second half here. Lots of rocks in play, lots of aggressive play.
Again with these, it just says hold your mics a couple inches further away from your mouth.
Oh, okay.
Who is our technical advisor and staff?
Is the Jerry Gertz. You see, hold the mics a little further from your mouths. Oh, let's see. Does this have to wait to get to the? Wow, this shot there.
I'm not sure that was even possible.
It just seems like one of those ends where it's going to be one red.
Vic Rowder, count them up. 1.
Throwing it away.
1 red it is. Tie game going into the 8th end.
And the tension ratchets up a little bit more.
All right, 8th end. Greenwood with last rock. Now definitely with the advantage in the game as we get this this far down the game. Last rock in the 8th end tied is a big advantage. So the onus is going to be on Team Marshall to put some pressure on and try and steal a point here. So I'm sure this call will be short of the rings, and we should be in for some fun this end.
Prevailing theory is score 1 and 8.
Our crack statistical staff would tell us the exact percentage of winning if you can score 1 and 8. But of course, we don't have any of that. So we're just going to go with trust us, there's an advantage.
There's a guy sitting over in the corner with a calculator, but I don't know if he's just a statistician or not.
He might be just doing math for fun. He's not even watching currently. He's doing a football pool, I think, actually.
His name is Kevin, and he's just here having fun.
Farther that comes, the better for Team Greenwood. He's going to tuck a little corner. Are we going to tuck a corner?
Nice shot.
Yep. I think we tucked more than a corner. Good shot. Controlling the front of the top of the 8-foot. 2 well-made shots to start this end. Long guard that red truly needs, and perfect controlling the top of the house, so come around for yellow.
Hopefully for the 7 people listening, we are not chewing on the microphone anymore.
We have 12 listeners.
We've been told that, yes, we are garbled. But they're blaming it on the fact that the microphone's too close to our mouth, which is entertaining.
Oh, here's a... Oh my.
Wow, that is going absolutely sideways. Holy smokes. That is more than fully buried. You might be able to see a little bit of that on the outturn side.
Yep.
Scott,
You can
the
see
ice maker
the
is
whole shot.
the ice maker has come. Scott, is that as much curl as you were looking for, or perhaps a little more? That's perfect. Scott, not looking for a raise in any way, shape, or form.
Level 1 work done.
Yeah, no kidding. I knew what I was getting into when I invited these two to come speak this evening.
That is busting. But again, they're For a rock that's over curling, they're sweeping the wrong side.
Oh, there's an intern waiting to be sunk.
Yep. Here comes the sink. We don't profess any expertise in either curling or the English language, so just so we're clear.
Actually,
The text the club is getting.
we claim no expertise in anything. We've seen a few shots a few draws as they've slowed down, really start to curl at the end.
This has got great line if it can get there.
It's got great line is right. Ooh.
Not second shot, but a really useful rock. That's a really, really good rock by Team Marshall.
Jennifer Whale.
Jennifer Whale, thank you, because I haven't really gone to our bios in quite some time.
Let's see what Jennifer Whale's all about. Jennifer is curled
Whale's
for 12
history.
years.
She started
likes
curling in
running
Oakville
and hiking,
years and years ago.
and
She had some very competent
her nickname
instructors.
is Jen, which surprisingly...
Really? Where'd they get that from? Who'da thunk?
And she's an extra small in size hoodie, just in case you're wondering.
Enough, Ross. Enough.
Classic. You stream it tomorrow. It's even.
There's
Great
good.
shot.
Yeah.
Great shot.
What a stellar shot. Who taught
Putting the
that kid
pressure
to
back
curl?
on Team Marshall to duplicate that. Ideally, get right to the face of the yellow, maybe even move the red rock back a foot or so, would turn this end around for red.
Here's Jen Whale throwing the outturn draw again.
She's got a whale of a good delivery, I'm not going to lie to you. She is rock solid behind the rock.
Really?
What's that?
This looks really good. Sweep it on the high side, girls. That's it. Make it curl. Ah, great shot. Great shot. Perfect shot.
This looks a little hotter.
Definitely got more weight than the last one coming down here. That's got a curl, too. That's really got a curl.
Who is?
It's trying. It's really trying. Oh, hanging it on the outside would be a
Actually,
catastrophe.
end up being pretty good weight.
Oh, that's... If she can see the inside of that, that's a disaster. I think she can. How much glass can she see, Ross?
What's that? Yeah,
Did you see the inside of it?
Yeah. No, she can certainly get to the inside of it. That's with pack weight. That's as you said, a disaster.
Big shot here, actually, in the grand scheme of things. Oh, this looks hot.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
They're going and sweep it down the,
You can sweep the inside.
sweeping on the curl side.
no, beauty.
Oh, great shot. And that's why that was the wrong place to leave that yellow rock.
About 6 or 7 years ago, but this.
Oh boy, it's all defense now for Team Greenwood. They got to bail.
But you
bail
can't
and
start,
bail hard.
You can't start bailing that high with.
I guess the
Four
other option
rocks.
would be the intern around and get one in there and guard for your life.
Going this way, you're 3 shots away from a getting in there.
I don't know how yellow bails out of this at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right here.
Turn draw.
I think you're here. My first reaction was bail, but it might have been time for an in-turn draw. Although, well, that's as good as you could basically make the opening up. But
And you're still hooped.
red guard to come, and yeah, a world of hurt for yellow. Well, it's going to be pretty simple. They make this guard.
For that matter, this
Greenwood's going to have to play that in-turn draw,
this
and
guard
she's
might
going
be
to get one chance at it.
Do you think this right guard might be best positioned in the top 8 foot to the top 4 foot?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tight to make it hard to come around. Yeah, this is looks like it's got lots. Well, I don't know. Okay, it's the long guard. So here comes the in-turn draw for yellow. And this is going to be a game saver right here. If she can lock this in with the in-turn come around. Okay. She's going to bail. Still bailing.
Not sure about this. I think I might be trying to draw one in there.
Well,
Yeah, I
even
think
your
the
draw area
opportunity
is a
is-
foot.
Yeah, you get
1 foot square.
but
No,
you get one
it's
top
tiny.
four.
But, no, even if you can get one top.
You get one top four, top button. You're in the game.
Boy, oh boy. Where to guard?
So if you're red, and
Team abuse.
if you're red and you're throwing a guard here, I suppose you could use it to about the better part of 2 feet off the center line.
Well, I'm not sure where you want to put this guard because anything on the right-hand side of the center line is just making the come around a whole lot easier.
I mean, your option, if you're going to throw this guard, and you're going to throw it out there, is to take it as wide as possible so that it effectively forces the other team to try and go through a port rather than come around your guard.
Yeah, the object. You're right. You're absolutely right here. If this guard needs to be well off center line, so you're right. So you can't come around it. But I'm not so sure that's the line she's got here. I think this is going to get really close to center.
This has got one of those sliders. This is
It's going to go. I don't know if that picked, but that's definitely not the line she was looking for. So here comes a huge shot. She's got a chance with a great draw to put a rock in that has absolutely no chance of being removed. So
Top tee line white.
I would have gone top four there, John. Top button. Get another red rock right in there with that shot.
I agree with you, Ross. You needed, if you were going to play the guard, which is what she was calling, it had to be way right of center line. But you're right. I like the one. Bring it in. Top 8, top 4, and if you can make that shot, Greenwood's got nothing. But here's a great opportunity to bail out your team.
Got to get out to the broom.
Not so well.
Looking like a good line out here.
Looks
a little hot.
Looks
a little hot. That's got to grow some teeth. That's got to grow teeth.
That's a problem.
Bite. Hit a sand trap. Yep.
So they're looking at this top four shot now.
Yeah. I know what you're thinking, Ross. Top 4 might have been, well, this puts a
Tell him what he's
nail.
thinking, John.
This puts a nail in the coffin if they bring it around top 4. But if you threw that long guard well right of center line,
Yeah.
I don't think yellow has a play.
Yep.
They won't have a play if she makes the shot she's calling. It's just more difficult. But the reward will be a steal of 3. I'm not sure that's out to the broom.
No.
Looked a little tight and a little soft in release. That's going to curl.
I was staring in the corner of the 8-foot.
I don't know if they want to sweep that. I think they're making the draw easier by sweeping that. Well, the draw is still there. It is one crazy tough shot. She's down there ready to throw it right away. Wow, are they in time trouble?
Didn't even come down.
Did she even come down?
No.
Is that time trouble? Or just... Yeah, good point.
We're getting heckled from the crowd here. It's not good.
Line looks pretty solid.
Yes, tons of time.
This looks really, really close.
Starting to carve.
Just T-line, wait.
I think a hair hot, maybe.
Sit, boo-boo.
Oh,
great try.
good try.
Great try. A foot too far. Steal of 2, red.
14?
Good try. Really, really solid try. But that's a big moment.
Hog to hog, that was just over 14, so you need sort of 15-second hog to hog will get you a top house draw.
What's that translate into
20,
Eastern
25
Eastern
and a half.
times?
25
Eastern Standard Time? 25 and a half?
25.
That's freaking fast.
26.2.
Ooh, there you go.
14.4. Were you born in... Oh, yeah, you were born in Manitoba, you son of a Manitoban Kyber.
That's it.
So it must be getting flat is what you're saying. It's flattening out.
Is the ice gone to hell there, Scotty?
No, it's beautiful.
Oh, okay, just checking to see if you're still awake. You are. Attaboy.
No, ice is fine. Ice is good. Holding up.
All right, defense time for Team Marshall. Oh, we missed something again. What happened to... We got one sweeper. Somebody's missing in action. But that wasn't quite what they were looking for. With a 2-point lead playing 9, the short rock. Probably not the goal. Oh, fourth player's back.
Something tells me we're going to see a few rocks this end. John?
Well, absolutely.
going for it.
I mean, Team Greenwood needs rocks in play. They need to get a deuce. And so they are going to definitely try and get it mixed up. Traditionally, Marshall's not going to want to do that. She's going to want to try and play it as simply as possible. Front rock wasn't what she was looking for, but game on. Coming around.
That's low. You're funny. I know.
You're still here too, eh?
I left and came back.
You were in red.
I had to go to work. I've been there.
That's the funniest thing I've heard. That's classic.
How's it look, Grunsko? Looks pretty good.
It
from
looks
my angle.
really good.
Line's perfect, I think.
Trying to get it to curl a bit more.
Great shot.
Great shot. Yeah.
Exactly where you want it. Top of the 8-foot, fully buried.
She's had a good
Controlling
game.
the top of the rings.
She's made a lot of nice draws today.
Absolutely. Actually, been an awful lot of ends that started in favor of looking good red. Well, not ideally what they were looking for, but junk out front is all good news for yellow, so not a bad shot. What rule are we playing here, Roscoe? This is the four-rock rule, right?
It is indeed.
No, it's it's a 4-rock rule.
With a 2-point lead, ripping
We're
the
going
guards here
aggressive.
would be-
We're going
would be
aggressive
an
for
option.
red.
You would think.
So the full-on game on.
Full on.
This is
Absolutely.
Team Marshall is not looking to play defense. They are looking to put the hammer down. This should be fun.
It'll make for an entertaining end.
Another good-looking guard or draw. Big finish at the end on these.
Well, when you're gonna go aggressive like that, making it that good is, it's deep actually. Oh, well, maybe not
Just back of
exactly
the
what
tee
she's
line.
looking for. Little opening here for Marshall. Sorry, Greenwood. Sweepers seem to like it. They're not going hard. Line looks great.
Ooh,
Great shot.
a very good shot.
Great shot. Marshall's going to try and follow it, lock it on again. She committed to this when she didn't rip the guards in a shot ago. So this is the game she's looking to play.
And yes, this is a whale of a shot coming up.
We paid extra just to get heat for you guys. No, it was cool.
Well, it was
Little
Looks
tightish.
a little tight.
You
Gotta
cannot
go big
afford
time.
to tip a stone in on ice like
Oh
this.
dear, that's not going to be what they were looking for. Now a chance for yellow to pile another one on top of there, and all of a sudden the game is fully on. Not sure what she's looking at.
Well, the coach
is calling a
signaling
timeout.
for a timeout in dramatic fashion.
Probably a good call because I'm not sure what she was looking at, but I think the obvious call is the outturn draw around on top. But I'm not sure that's what she was looking at. So coach has called timeout. Anybody read lips? Is there anybody still out there?
We got their volume.
Marco.
For those of you who know Graham McEachern, he's out here. He's on the ice. He's the on-ice official. He looks cold. He looks annoyed. And he looks tired.
And that's different from any other particular day. How exactly, Russ? Not fair, but we know Graham. We've known him for 100 years. Because we're all 100 years old. Except Graham, who's 120.
He's a good man. He gives a lot of his time to.
He gives a ton of his time
OCA.
to this.
Does
game.
he ever? I mean,
He
he's been
and
an
his wife.
official since I was a freaking junior curler.
Yep.
And
Bonnie
that's
as well.
just Bonnie as well.
And Bonnie
Good point,
as well.
you.
Yep.
But Bonnie is spry and nimble compared to her husband.
She's here, right?
Yeah.
Bonnie, where are you? Spry over here, will
Bonnie,
you?
Bonnie, come over and resurrect your husband. Wait, back to the game, people. Oh my God, who has more fun than us?
Barrel of monkeys.
All right, this is actually a huge shot. So
she's
what do we
close. She's got
here?
plenty of weight.
They
Again,
did
tight,
elect
too.
for the
You
O2
cannot
draw,
afford-
like we thought they might, and it's tight and light. It's not what they were looking for.
A little bouncy
a
guard.
flare on this ice. I think you can get away with it. You tip it in though. Not so much.
No, you cannot roll it over on this ice. Inside out is going to make. But that's where the big adjustment is so huge when you're not used to. If the girls aren't used to playing on ice that curls this much, tipping it over on straight ice and typical club ice is you're going to make a lot of shots. But on this kind of ice, not a chance. You absolutely cannot do that.
So Marshall just trying to come down with another draw on top of the yellow
boy,
one.
Heavy's not what they're looking for here. Anything up front is good. Anything in front of the
yeah, it's
rings,
flying.
short is good.
Trying to get it to curl now.
Yeah, they're really that's.
Well, she's on the Yellowstone.
Actually, it's not that bad. That's
No, it's
ends
pretty
up
good.
being pretty good.
Well, yeah, that
It hooked up-
effectively
it
cuts
hooked
down
up
the
big
scoring
time
zone,
at the
doesn't
end,
it?
and that works. Good shot. Long and outside is a bit of a catastrophe in that situation, but it curled enough and died. Perfect. Now Marshall's got to try and get to the inside of this one, and that's even tougher. That's really, really tough.
What a technically solid delivery.
Every one of these girls has fantastic deliveries. Just absolutely rock solid. That's got to go, little girls. I think. Doesn't it? Are they guarding?
Yeah, they are.
All right. Then the weight's perfect for the guard.
Well done.
I am a genius.
What's that? The guard. Yeah, you can't do anything with that at this point. That side's cut off.
Well, they're taking the other turn, coming into the center that way.
A good intern draw here is, that might over curl. Slid a little inside the line. Tried to get it out there. Looks pretty good.
If it's got the weight, it's got really good looking line. No.
Well, kind of mission accomplished because a force of one is great news if you're Team Marshall. And I'm trying to imagine how they're going to get a second yellow one in there right now. I hate to say never, but wow, it's going to be tough. Not even sure what are they doing here, Ross? Like I really am not sure what they're doing here. Well, I guess they're trying to throw. I guess maybe what they're trying to do is a defensive shot, trying to throw a big guard so that red can't
She's throwing a
Scooby
guard.
around with the red with an out turn and tap the red up for shot rock for a steal of one.
This is one of those situations where everybody's happy with.
I guess that's it. Yeah, just kick them all in.
the
One
one.
yellow. Let's play the next end.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. There's absolutely no way they're getting in on that side. So kick them in, ladies. I think there's, I don't know. Yep, looks like we're just going to throw one through.
Still a lot of rocks to go. She's still trying this out, this intern draw, the wide intern draw. to get around that one she just threw, though.
It would have to warp. Little rub. What do we got coming up here, Roscoe?
Well, not sure, John. It looks like a guard to me.
Well, once again, we have demonstrated our complete and utter ignorance towards the game of curling.
Inability to figure out what's going on.
Based on what I can see from this end, what I can see on either of the screens I'm looking at, I officially have nothing.
I'm going with this as a guard. Once again, everybody's conceding the one.
Remind me what they're guarding.
It's some sort
They're
of tap.
guarding
Yeah.
the angle raise chip, which would be for 3. 4. If you could stick it. I don't think you can stick it.
There's nothing on the right side of the sheet, so they got to guard something on the left. Is the point? They don't want to line this up.
Yeah, lining it up would be tragic.
Geez, you know, if you hammer that thing,
You're going to have to enlighten me here. What are you hammering? Paint me a picture, Roscoe, because this isn't working for me. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on right now.
Yellow onto red onto red.
yellow onto red onto red onto yellow.
I still think the yellow spins only onto the back of the red one.
What are you looking at, you?
On the left-hand side.
We need a telestrator. Hey, what's with the budget? We need a telestrator.
Refer back to the budget conversation, John. Remember, the 12-year badges went.
Oh, my bad. We give up badges, no telestrator.
You give up 10 more badges and they can get a telestrator.
My bad. Sorry.
So if she hammers the one that was just thrown, it doesn't work. Never mind. Yet another guard of some kind. It's a guard fest. Guardapalooza.
We might be guarding the imaginary shot here.
No?
Which, as I have done on occasion, when you're trying to guard the imaginary shot, you actually create a shot for the other team.
There is literally nothing left here.
See, in the old days, there used to be a bench and an ashtray you could whip one off of. In the modern game of curling, there's no shot.
Question, boys. How many stones are in play this end?
A lot. Given that the first half of the game we were talking about, I don't even know what we were talking about because there wasn't a rock in play, and
There were 16 stones in play that end.
there was a whole mess of rocks. But it was wonderful because it displayed our complete and utter lack of understanding of what was going on out there.
Which is the point of this evening.
We're going to talk to our broadcast coordinator here.
All right. Here we go.
You thought it was bad with Mark and me.
No, you guys were great. Just a different dynamic with this pair.
There's a dynamic.
It's very dynamic.
Always has been. Operative term
All right,
there.
10th
has
end
been.
sets up.
10th end
Greenwood
Greenwood
must steal.
has to steal, yep.
Needs front rock. Perfectly excluded by the lead. Now, will Team Marshall try and come around that? They are going to try and come around that. The other alternative is to try and play the tick.
$1 million question. What do you do here? Play the tick or come around?
The answer is yes, and you make the shot.
Yeah.
Whichever
Yep.
you call.
Whatever one you're going to make. Yep. I was always a big fan of the come around because my lead could never, ever, ever make the tick.
Your girlfriend used to say,
Roscoe? The tick. There was no such thing as a tick. The tick
was a missed draw.
The tick was something that you got on your when you walked in the woods.
Or lay on the sand.
This
Another great shot.
This young lady's made a lot of draws tonight.
She has
I'll tell
made
you.
a ton of come arounds.
That's a great shot. That's perfect. That really helps them out.
Looks close to me, Roscoe.
Yep.
Looks really good.
That's really good.
They got to go on that now, though. Go! Oh my goodness!
Don't lose it.
Jeez,
oh,
it did just-
there's the guard.
Oh, a couple of strokes and getting that around is that's still in a great spot. Good shot.
Yeah, you'd be happy if it landed there to begin with.
Yeah, yeah, good shot.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe just the ice getting a little flatter later. I don't know. This doesn't look like it, but I didn't really jump on that.
Okay. She'll fix that up in a second. Well, that's the plan, anyway. Is she throwing all the way around the one in the top 12? I guess she
All the
is.
way around on the outturn. Yep.
You need a lot of ice for that, don't you?
It's got a, oh, they're
Gonna rub, I think.
gonna rub now, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think we're seeing just a little bit of flattening in the last couple ends here. A lot of rocks that are really curling at the end.
Hit and roll in. Look at that, Ross. Earlier in the game, they were taking
That's
a
trouble.
foot outside the rock.
Mm-hmm.
They're now taking the inside edge of the rock. They've changed the ice by well over a foot.
Looking for the double here, right?
Oh, right through the hole.
Marshall unsure
I don't know,
of
Roscoe.
the-
I'm telling there'd be an awful lot of people ripping those yellow guards right now.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
She wants to play this corner here. Corner freeze.
Really aggressive play. If Marshall can just single peel out.
Timeout.
Timeout called. If Marshall can just single peel out, she's faced with looking at two rocks with her last rock. A hit and stick wins the game. A hit and roll out goes to the extra end. That's pretty high probabilities. Pretty conventional strategy. So the come around here is really aggressive.
I think you may have given the coach an idea, John.
Oopsie.
Let's see if they play the peel when they come back out.
Yeah.
Whoa. A big 4-ender for Auld on sheet C against Murphy in the 9th end to go up 10-8. Playing 10. Murphy with last rock.
Oh, you and your Steve Austin vision.
All right. They have decided that the correct shot is. It's
Ding, 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 ding. We're peeling.
You know, you listen to a Gatsman the Brier and you learn some things. They're playing the peel.
Ooh, she's running this back. No.
Well, the single peel does the trick, though. Single peel does the trick. Worst case scenario, if you just keep doing that, is you've got to hit to win the game.
Unfortunately, it's an autofocus camera.
Okay, and Team Greenwood's going to play the tap. An alternate thought would be throwing a guard off center, an imperfect guard, throwing one center line, forcing Marshall to choose whether to take the rocks in the house or the one out front. Coming into the rings here just allows her to bash away and is going to give Team Marshall a whole bunch of chances at a double here to end the game. Well, no double chance here, really. But I don't know, Roscoe. I think I would have gone with the front rock. Yeah?
Yep. There actually is a double there. Just from the angle I'm sitting at, you can hit that top yellow one on and double these two yellows off. Risky,
really,
because
really thin.
You could jam it back in for shot, but this is probably the safer call.
What was the call for Marshall? Is this a peel or is this a hit and stick?
I think this is a hit and stick. Hit and stick.
All right. Well, not sure that rock's in play or Marshall's friend right now.
This is curling.
Zoinks.
This is really, really curling.
Play, yes.
Oish. Got enough. What's the call here, Roscoe?
I didn't see it. I was having a chip.
I like the center guard. Hope it's a center guard.
Well, I think with that ice,
The top?
center guard weight, it curls past the center line.
Yeah, and you don't want it. You don't want it directly perfect guard, but you just want it to touch the center line. This is a tap. This has got lots of weight.
Yeah, it's got lots of weight. Yeah.
This is move it back.
Really well executed.
Yeah, don't dislike that at all.
Couldn't make it any better. Good shot. You don't really need to keep the shooter here.
Looks good.
Rip this and roll to the corner.
Roll it
Perfect.
right out.
Roll it out.
Roll
All
it
you
right
want
out.
to do. You don't need that rock around. Get it out of there. Perfectly executed. Good shot. Still would be throwing the center guard. Over curling a bit, you think, Roscoe?
Mm-hmm. So
Just let it stop. I wanted to stop right there.
That's a double peel.
Yeah. Now the
Point
angle's
to
there
have it
to
now.
end the game, pretty much. Hit this just high side and hard. Both yellows go. Red probably goes. Shooter goes. And basically, you've got a dream scenario one up with. A chance to virtually end the game right here.
Oh, it's a spinner. Trying to get it to curl a bit.
Oh, just about.
Nice try.
Great shot. Gets just a bit more of that yellow, and both yellows are gone, and it's a world of hurt for yellow. Good to be red. Still good to be red. This is a tough situation now for Team Greenwood. I wish they had thrown a center back a while ago. I think we'd have a little bit different end. Attempt for the perfect freeze and the red stone in the forefoot. Looks like it's got plenty of weight, I think.
Good shot.
Nice shot. Half rock double here to win the game. Solid weight. Half the yellow rock. Kick it over into second shot, third shot.
Well, there
And,
still is one yellow rock, right?
okay, virtually win the game.
More or less.
More or less. I'm thinking ahead.
Ish.
I'm thinking ahead. I'm presuming no chance of the whiff on
It's
the
okay.
last one.
I'm pretty sure we're down to four.
There's no
four
chance
viewers now.
No chance she whiffs on the last one. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Solid delivery.
Well
Good
thrown,
throw.
actually, yeah. Real
Really-
positive throw on this.
She's going to be really close. Is that second shot?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Although it's just created a pocket. It has just created a pocket that Greenwood, if she can lock it on there, that is going to be pretty tough to get out of there. Really tough shot. She's got to absolutely lock it on. Dead square.
But still taking 5 feet of ice or whatever for.
Huge curl,
For a
which
drop.
makes a freeze like this really hard. Because when they're curling that much, freezes are so tough. I think this is curling. No, look, well,
Yeah, it looks light to me.
yeah, a little light, little tight.
And that's
Should
all she wrote.
welcome-
That's all she wrote.
Well done, Marshall.
Roscoe, that was a pleasure. I
was
apologize to all 17 left watching this
All 7
broadcast. Hugh, it was a pleasure working with you. I hated that my broadcast career ends this way. One and out.
John Bass, Roscaro, Jerry Gertz, actually, for taking over the last little bit of the directing here. I want to thank you very much for joining me on this evening at the 2016 Ontario Junior Curling Championships here at the Mississauga Golf and Country Club. That's Curling Zone for one more evening. Tomorrow we will be back here broadcasting a junior men's draw, and I don't think John Bass and John, you are back with Trevor Wall later on in the week, are you not?
Oh, look for the email. Can't get that invitation, but
Thanks very
hopefully
much.
So.
That's all we.
I
All
look
she
forward
wrote.
to it.
Have a good night, gang.
Well, that was
Thanks for watching Live Stream Curling. Brought to you by curlingzone.com. Everything curling.
Yeah, it is, I'm sure.